R-Truth is back. R-Truth is back. This is my review of Money in the Bank. We'll talk about R-Truth at the very end, but he is back. I believe it was due to fan outrage that brought him back, not a work, and there's honestly evidence now that it was not a work. I'll get into that, as well as reviewing the matches on this episode of Screw the Script. Money in the Bank 2025 is over and done with. It was quite an interesting night. It had some really good moments, and it also had some very frustrating moments. Let's kick it off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And again, I am bringing back my review system. To start off the night with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, it was better than I expected. The winner was an outcome that I feel like majority of people were not expecting. A lot of people probably thought Rhea was going to win, or Stephanie Vaquer getting a major push, or a returning Alexa Bliss. I don't think anyone had Naomi winning, but they kind of spoiled it prior, which is why I did not like the outcome of this Money in the Bank ladder match. I thought, maybe it was just coincidence, but if anyone has seen this right here, I'll show you up there. They actually spoiled the winner of the women's Money in the Bank because of that picture right there. I mean, Naomi was literally wearing the caution tape on her gear, and they had a spoiled photo right there of a caution taped covered briefcase. At first, I was like, okay, that's probably just coincidence. Maybe it was advertising Naomi being in it. Maybe they had separate ones for each competitor. I could be missing that. I'm not sure. But it looks like to me that they accidentally spoiled, because this came out before the actual show yesterday evening. So putting that aside, the match itself was actually pretty good. There was some good spots from the women in this match. I was really pulling for Vaquer to win because I really, really like her. She has quickly become a very big workhorse for WWE, as she just competed hours prior at Worlds Collide. All in all, I'm going to give the first match a 4 out of 6 cans of whoop ass. The reason why I drop it, or, dock it some points, was that photo that, pretty much spoiled the winner of that. And, I just think even if they didn't spoil it, I don't think Naomi, of all people, deserved to win. I mean, she's kind of at the tail end of her career. They should have pushed one of the younger stars. So I'm giving it a 4 out of 6. Next, we had Dominic Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. I really like Octagon Jr. He is a great luchador. This was my least favorite match on the card, though, as in my mind, it was very forgettable. I honestly forgot about the match after I woke up this morning to sit down and record this video, until I looked back on my notes and I was like, oh yeah, that match happened, because it was not even 10 minutes. Like I said, forgettable match, but it wasn't a bad match, so I'm not going to give it a really low rating, but I'm not going to do much coverage on this match. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 6 cans of whoop ass, which 3 out of 6 in my rating system is just an average match. Next, we saw Lyra versus Becky Lynch in a surprising upset. In my mind, it was an upset just because of the stage in her career that Becky Lynch is in. She ended up winning the title last night. Again, I don't feel like the crowd is fully backing her as a heel, but she did some damn good heel work. After picking up the win, she demanded Lyra to hold up her arm to each side of the crowd, and then she had the audacity to ask her to put the belt around her waist. Then we saw Lyra say, you know what, enough is enough. She attacked her and then walked off. Losing her temper, but who wouldn't at that point? Becky Lynch was playing the heel character very well. But again, I just don't think that people fully want to back it. But this was actually my second favorite match of the night. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 6 cans of whoop ass. I think it was a really good women's title match. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, very much like the women's, it was a solid match. Had some awesome spots that we saw. I mean, we saw Penta hit his Mexican Destroyer onto the ladder. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was that he hit it with, but it was a really good spot. We saw LA Knight do a ridiculous spot from the top of that tall ladder onto the mat. You know, you had it all in that match. As good as you're going to get in PG era WWE for a Money in the Bank ladder match. This one was, had a lot of faults. One, I cannot stand the advertisements. We already have plenty on the mat. We have them on the turnbuckle covers. We have them on the barricades, on the ring aprons, and now we have it on weapons. We saw this photo a couple days ago. They on SmackDown. I didn't watch SmackDown, but I saw that they now have Slim Jim ads on the tables, which is fucking stupid. Like, come on, TKO. But it's TKO. This is what they did to the UFC. Dave Meltzer, take it or leave it with what he says. I don't always agree with the things that he says, but he did actually make me kind of laugh because he had this to say, saying that he wouldn't be shocked if at some point in the future talent has to wear advertisements on their t-shirts and ring gear. It's honestly it's a solid possible point brought up by him. You may disagree with the things that he says from time to time, like I do, but I mean, you're what's next? You're seeing it. You first saw it on the ring mats. Now you're seeing it all over on the apron. You got the Prime stuff outside of the ring. Now you have advertisements on weapons. I mean, the only logical step next is ring gear. So, you know what? I kind of agree with Dave on this one. Back to the match, though. Yeah, I did not like the fireball on the tall 20-foot ladder, or however tall that ladder was. It was very distracting all night long. I really didn't like it. You had Cash App on the Money in the Bank briefcase, which, it makes sense that ad is on the briefcase, but come on. It's only going to get worse. Next year, if it gets even any worse than this, you may as well just call it advertisement in the bank, because that's what it's going to turn into. The match itself, the wrong person won. Seth Rollins did not need to win this. He did become the fourth person ever to win it twice, so that was a cool thing to see, but he didn't need it. And I love Seth Rollins. If you've watched videos prior to this one on my channel, he is my favorite PG era wrestler in WWE, so from 2008 on. But he didn't need to win this. LA Knight was the one that should have won this, and you're seeing a ton of people online saying it should have been LA Knight, or had he been in the match, it should have been Karrion Kross. But instead we get Seth Rollins, who has had multiple titles already. He's already in a strong faction. He really did not need this win. So for me, it really docks us. It was going to be a 5 out of 6, but I'm also going to give this a 4 out of 6 cans of whip ass because of the advertisements and the wrong person winning. It really just docked it a lot for me. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso. I have a hard time getting behind any 4 of these guys right now. The John Cena heel turn was great when it happened, but it's kind of just falling flat for me. Have expressed my opinions on Jey Uso. I really don't think he's main event material. Say what you want about Logan Paul. This photo of that match, very impressive. He's very athletic, but he's just a douchebag. Both the brothers are, and it's really hard to get behind him as a wrestler. And then you got Cody Rhodes, who won the title at this past WrestleMania. Didn't really do much with it at all. Or I should say last year's WrestleMania. This was a forgettable match until the very end. So before I get to the craziness that happened before the show went off the air, like I said, the only highlight of this match was that Logan Paul spot. I'm giving this a 3 out of 6 cans of whoop ass. It was just an average match. Nothing that I'm going to remember a year from now. The only thing that people are going to remember from this match was what happened at the end of the match, which I'll get on to next. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I wanted to cover the rest of the show before I touched on the R-Truth stuff again. This was not a work. Here's a photo right here, literally, of Ron Killing saying himself on his Twitter, or X, saying it was not a work. They genuinely let him go, and they realized how much they majorly fucked up, and they're like, shit, we have to bring him back. We have to change this. This was very much exactly what happened at WrestleMania last year, not this past WrestleMania, but last year's WrestleMania, when we were about to get spoon-fed Roman and The Rock, and nobody wanted that. and there was fan outrage left and right. And then they changed it. This was the same thing. Triple H didn't want to take, accountability. His answer was very vague on the post-show last night. But now with, that photo I showed you, this photo right here of Cody Rhodes basically saying, hey, we did what the fans wanted. We brought back R-Truth, Ron Killings, because of the fans, and how you spoke, and we listened. So good on WWE and TKO for listening to the fan outcry and bringing back R-Truth, now going by his real name, Ron Killings. But again, this was not a work. Even in the moments after it happened, I was kind of 50-50 on it. But now you got proof saying that it literally was not a work from the person himself. But good on them bringing him back. I'm very interested to see how he's going to be as Ron Killings, the character, a more serious character, which is only the second time ever in his career that he's been more of a serious character. I'm excited to see where this goes. That moment gets a 6 out of 6 cans of whoop ass because it was not expected by anyone except maybe a few people that really thought it was all a work. It was not a work. It was not. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. You let me know down below what you thought about last night. Overall, adding up and tallying up the scores, we had a few 3 out of 6s, a couple 4 out of 6s, but a 6 out of 6 moment. But that moment alone doesn't make it a great PLE for me. A lot of it, half of it to me was kind of forgettable. There was nothing unique or special about the Money in the Bank ladder matches that had spots that we haven't already seen before in years past. But I'm not going to hate on this pay-per-view overall. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 6 cans of whoop ass. Once again, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.